life is just so much better when Arsenal are winning. Guys, last time we caught up, it was Arsenal versus Man United. Man United running out 3-2 winners. Since then, we had the press conference from Mikel Arteta saying he had a team talk with the guys and he's looked back on the game and he is more dedicated, motivated for Arsenal to win the Premier League than ever. And he wants this to be an enjoyable 4 months for the team. They followed that up with a 3-2 victory in the Champions League. And now they follow it up with a 4-0 win against Leeds United. And I can't really complain at all about the performance. We're going to get into the nitty gritty. But again, when Arsenal are winning, life is good. I've got to be honest with you. So as we get into the game, again, 4-0 win for Arsenal, which is a much improved situation than we have been previously. And a game that was tense in the early stages. Arsenal weren't really getting full control of the game. But when they did, they took an advantage of it. And that's something that they haven't been able to do early and often. But getting into halftime 2-0 up was a big result for Arsenal and it allowed them to have a platform to build on in the second half. Zubimendi on the score sheet, Cardano with their own goal. We had Gyokeres who scored as well. And we also had a goal from Gabriel Jesus, which rounded up the performance. When we look at the starting lineup, a big miss for Arsenal was the exclusion of Saka, who was actually injured in the warm up. It looked pretty bad. Some speculation that it's a hamstring injury, and that could mean we have an extended spell of potentially Noni Madueke on the right wing. And listen, based off this performance, it was really good from him. The rest of the team, not much of a surprise in my opinion from what we saw midweek. Kai Havertz and Gyökeres playing up top. Kai playing in the 10, just behind him in that shadow striker position where I think he operates the best, and I think that's how you'll get the best out of Gyökeres as well. Odegaard on the bench, which to me isn't really a talking point. I would have him operating off the bench majority of the rest of the season. There will be games potentially Chelsea in the Carabao Cup where he can start. But I think for me, the way he's playing at the moment, it's not going to serve Arsenal the best having him, Rice, and Zubimendi in that midfield. If you want to play Eze, Odegaard, and Zubimendi or Rice, then cool. But I think with him playing so deep, not looking to orchestrate the attacks in the way that we need him to, it really puts a limit on me seeing him as that person. You need a person who's going to link the front man to the rest of the team, and that looks to be more of an Eze. That looks to be more of a Kai Havertz. Coming into the game, as mentioned, it was quite tricky in the beginning. We saw a lot more momentum than I expected coming from. And Leeds, when they play well and the crowd starts getting involved, you're in for a very tricky game. We know from Leeds this season, before this game, they had only lost 2 games at home, a near top half home record. And that's very, very good for a team in their position. They had beaten Chelsea, they'd picked up points against Liverpool, points against Man United, Newcastle at home. So never ever is it an easy place to play, Elland Road. But Arsenal showed up, they did their job. And as they went through the first half, midway through, they started to gain more and more control of the game. And that's exactly what we were speaking about previously, that if they are able to get some control in the game and capitalize on that, Arsenal can be very, very dangerous. The first goal comes from a corner that was cleared out. Madueke with a brilliant, brilliant cross from the right wing into Zubimendi, who gets his head on the end of it. And again, this is Zubi who has continued to play well for Arsenal. I know in the last game against Man United, a lot of people weren't happy with that mistake. I wasn't happy with that mistake, but he is again somebody who has done really well for Arsenal throughout this season. Fourth goal of the season, 1 assist. And again, he is somebody who has shown up in big moments when Arsenal need him. And again, those mistakes that he has made in the previous games can't be forgotten about. But he is somebody who I'm very happy to have in our team. Him and Declan Rice as a pivot work very well. They can both defend, they can both attack. And he put in a man of the match performance, steady on the ball, continuously moving the ball, provided not only a defensive presence but an attacking presence as well. And you've got to really appreciate who he is as a player and what he brings to the team. I was really excited when we signed him. I did have my doubts in terms of the physicality and how he would deal with it. And he's done really well in majority of the cases. So again, Zubimendi with a brilliant performance as he has put in majority of the time. And Arsenal were able to extend their lead with an own goal. Corner from Madueke finds itself in the box. Kai Havertz is in and around the box. Cardolo with the own goal. Arsenal 2-0 up, and that's perfect for Arsenal. In the condition that we were in coming into this game, coming back into the Prem, you needed to go into halftime not 0-0 or not drawing with Leeds or not conceding a goal. 2-0 up was perfect for Arsenal and it gave them the platform that they needed. And again, the team performance was good. Kai and Gyokeres were linking up pretty well. There was a couple of moments where Gyokeres could have done a little bit better with his link up, but then he did have a good moment. Kai was giving Trossard the ability to roam a lot more than we've seen. Trossard has kind of been stuck out on the wing for majority of the games, but this was a game that I saw him rotate and roam a little bit more, and it was good to see because Kai can pick up a lot of different spaces. Noni was on that wing and he was breaking down Goodmanson time and time again. And listen, he's brilliant one on one. He's brilliant with his dribbling. He's brilliant at getting past the player. It's his end product that people have always had an issue with. But for that assist, for that goal, listen, that's what we need. And again, he was directly involved in the second goal as well. And so we need more of that from him. And his presence is definitely felt on the pitch. And listen, when you hear the news that Saka's not going to be ready for this game and may have an extended absence, this is an opportunity that Noni has to seize and perform to the level that he believes he can perform to. And the manager thinks he can perform to. And he has to prove it to himself, but also to the fans who listen. This was his first assist of the Premier League season. He has had good performances in the Champions League, but this was his first assist, first goal contribution in the Premier League season. And if this is his moment to step up, he's got to step up big because we've got Sunderland next week. Coming into the second half, there was a massive chance for Gyokeres, which again he should have put away. Too much time on the ball, not urgent enough, not showing that killer instinct which he needs to show. And that is what puts doubt in the minds of many in terms of if he will continue to be the man that will be the goal scorer for Arsenal. He does make it up later on in the game. We see Noni come off, we see Kai Havertz come off, and on comes Odegaard and on comes Martinelli. And Martinelli with again brilliant work down that right wing, cutting back onto his left foot, puts in an absolute brilliant ball. And Gyökeres' movement there. Again, he's been criticised many a times, but I can also praise him. That movement there was brilliant as well. Brilliant cross, brilliant movement to get in front of his defender, 3-0 up, and it's exactly what you wanted to see from Arsenal in this position. Again, this is a team in Leeds who have only lost one, I think, in their last 11. Hats off to Arsenal. Hats off. Again, yes, Leeds are, I think, 16th in the league, but you have to give your hats off to those who perform well and show up in those difficult moments because it can be really edgy at times, but Arsenal played well and they did their job. Fourth goal comes from Gabriel Jesus, who didn't have a great game against Man United, but brilliant work again from the rest of the team. You saw a lot of 1-2, you saw a lot of intricate play as Leeds opened up more and more as the game went on. Martin Odegaard gets the assist and Gabriel Jesus gets the goal. I think that would be his second or third of the season. And again, it's welcome. It's welcome. We need everybody firing. We need everyone playing well. Sad to see Eze not get as many minutes as I would personally like. I think he needs to be more and more involved. We will need him. And yeah, again, I hope to see him perform more. But this was a brilliant team performance. Arsenal really came to play. They got the job done. It was a professional, ruthless performance. And they took down the Leeds team who have been in brilliant form. Coming into this game, I knew Arsenal had the ability to win and they should win. But would it be as easy as many thought? I didn't think so. Coming into the stats of the game, again, you can see Arsenal's dominance throughout the game. Defensively, pretty much shutting out Leeds throughout the whole game. 3 shots, 1 on target for Leeds. Complete shutout, essentially. 14 shots for Arsenal, 8 on target, 7 big chances. It just shows how well we performed as an attacking team, and 5 of those missed. Again, the issue previously was we weren't creating those chances because, in my opinion, the midfield wasn't progressing the ball wasn't sticking up top. This time, a lot of chances were created, just many were missed. And again, that's something for Arsenal to look at in terms of how they can convert more, but that's been a problem for a long time. If we can create the chances and we create many of them, Arsenal will win majority of the games because their defense is very, very strong. Looking back at the lineup, a couple of things I want to talk about. Noni, he had a lot of take-ons and I think he disturbed that Leeds left-hand side a lot. Involved in 2 goals. Again, you have to give your hats off to him for how he performed coming into the team late. He has his own style. And again, you have to appreciate what he did. Gyokeres, overall, I wasn't overly impressed with his game, but the goal is what matters. This is 6 in 22 for him. Continue to up the numbers, continue to perform, continue to get on the end of those crosses. And again, Arsenal needs to provide the service that he requires. Kai coming back into the team, was really impressed with what he gave to the team, a different outlook, a different aspect in terms of how we look as a team. 2 bigger players up top who can disrupt the opposition. Declan Rice will be in the middle, really good. Trossard, decent game, kept things ticking along. From a defensive standpoint, all the players did their bit. Strong, resilient, dependable. And that's what you need from that defense. And I think for me, you have many different layers of the defense that you can look to put out. I look at seeing Calafiori coming back in, and again he came off the bench. It was good to see him. White coming on when you need a more attacking link up potentially as well. So there's a couple of things that and changes that Arsenal can make, but that's the depth that they have in their team. Arsenal will obviously be looking at the game later on this weekend with Man City versus Tottenham. That will be very, very interesting. But again, great to see Arsenal back in winning ways. Guys, I want to know your thoughts, your opinions. Who do you think played well? Who deserved man of the match? What are you expecting from Arsenal in the next couple of games? I want to hear it all. It's been EDA. Peace.